Today we got ourselves another banger. That's right, y'all been spoiled recently with the sheer quantity of bangers, but this one, I guarantee you, is worth the watch. Today we got ourselves a high level matchup. Two experts playing. You guys know Kantbei. He's been around a long time. He's been getting really stronger lately. I've noticed his skill level is he's kind of like Starflash, up and down, sine wave or whatever the hell, ebbs and flows. He's starting to peak in his skill level. He's looking pretty damn good. And so it's going to be a good game. But first, let's talk about this map right here. This map right here is called Shadows Betwixt. Sounds very old-fashioned. I don't know. It's made by Cookie Lamb 3. He's a G. So that's all I gotta say. I like the map. I haven't played on it myself so far, but for what it looks like here, looks like the corners are kind of the most contested part. Not necessarily the middle, but the corners. This appears to be Black's weak side, Black's strong side. It's a little easier to reinforce this side. See, these bases are kind of a line for a straight beeline over here, whereas this one has to go around this forest, has to go around another forest in order to get over there. You also have the airport over here reinforcing as well. So the comm tower over here probably should fall under Black's control, whereas the comm tower over here will be Blue's control, and then you're fighting over these contested properties in the corners, these properties over here, and maybe a couple, this quad of cities in the middle, a bit contested. This is appears more of a brawly map, more of a Kindle map, more of a max map. Look at all these roads, these shoals. Recons are being phenomenal. Battlecopters are going to be good. You got two airports after all. I can see some T-copters being used here. Maybe even a black boat if you're feeling extra feisty. Just transporting mechs, transporting infantry across. HQ is probably safe and sound. I don't see any HQ caps, any threats from that really. But it looks like it generally is just a very brawly map. And typically when you're in a brawling map, you want to choose Von Bolt, you want to choose Kindle, you want to choose those sorts of COs. Less Eagle, more Max, But we're doing a tier 1 today. We haven't really reviewed a tier 1 game in a long time. So I'm excited to introduce. So first off, let's look at the players before we get to the COs. Right now we got Kantbei. No introduction really needed. He plays Standard, he plays Fog. I'd argue he's better at Fog than in Standard, but he's been around a long ass time. He's been here longer than I have. I've reviewed tons of his games. On the other hand, we have Elagatua. I don't know. When I think of this dude, I think of like Caligula or the Ugugula or whatever the heck in the back here. Uvula? Ugugula. I like Ugugula better. Or Caligulus. I like the idea of there's like a scary show like a vampire and it's like no, I'm Uvula. Like instead of Caligula, it's Uvula. So yeah, Elagugla, as I like to say. He's a strong player. He's already taken a game off Starflash. I saw him beat him there. I also saw him. He's already at a 1400 level. He's either a Smurf or a new strong player, so he's not to be taken lightly. Now let's look at the COs here. We're doing a tier 1 matchup for once. We haven't reviewed tier 1 in quite some time. So you got your picks of Von Bolt, Hawke, Sasha, and Javier. I'd argue that Von Bolt is probably the pick here, just because it is a brawly map. There's roads surrounded by cities. I would have picked Von Bolt here. Probably Hawke after that, but Sasha does have a good matchup versus Hawke. If you're Sasha versus Von Bolt's probably going to wipe you. And I also do like the Hawke versus Von Bolt because you get that extra black storming. You're going to get it eventually. But Sasha versus Hawke, Sasha can use her market crash, spam it over and over again, and Hawke's not going to get his superpower the entirety of the game. He's probably going to need his CO power maybe once or twice throughout the entirety of the game. Probably earliest turn 15, maybe turn 20. It's very hard to use your CO power when Sasha keeps putting market crash, especially on a higher income map like this, because for every 5k that Sasha has in the bank, she knocks off 10% of her opponent's charge, their super charge. So if she has 30,000 in the bank, she's knocking off 60% of Hawke's superpower charge. So it's quite difficult for Hawke to even use his powers at all. But Hawke does have the extra 10% firepower bonus, and with the comm tower will enable some unique KOs. 2 infantry attacking an infantry on a city will be a KO, 2 tanks attacking a tank on a city will be a guaranteed KO. So Hawke does have that firepower bonus, which isn't unnoticeable. But I would say Sasha has the matchup advantage in this, just sheerly by having the extra amount of funds and knocking down Hawke's superpower availability for a majority of the game. Personally, I love Hawke, though. He's my favorite CO, so I probably would have picked him after Von Bolt. But I'd say overall advantage goes to Kantbei using Sasha. So without further ado, let us begin. Elagugla is in the bottom right as the hockey poos in the black hole. At the top left, you got old Kantbei. So, we can see an early recon? Probably not. This is looking more of a tank beginning fight. So let's see what here. Maybe a Sasha. Oh, no. Kantbei is electing no recon at all. He's rather doing the boom technique, which is I can't argue with. Agugula opts to go for artillery in the middle, so he could either go to the side, maximum flexibility. Can't hate on that. Little boomy. I was actually not expecting an artillery. I was expecting a tank or a recon, but he wanted to spend all his funds, I suppose. Honestly, there I probably would have saved up, just built either a recon or an infantry there, because you'll be able to build a tank next turn, or hell, even a T-copter like Kantbei is doing. Kantbei loves his transports. Kantbei, Go 7, those are the two transport fanatics. They love their transports, and I can't hate him for that. So it looks like Agugula is bringing his artillery up to his weak side, actually. These are contested properties, but they're going to be more heavily fortified by blue, as two bases pointed straight down that way, as well as an airport in closer proximity. So it's going to be a little bit of a test. So he's putting an artillery on his weak side. You know me, I don't like artillery on weak sides 9 times out of 10. Let's see if this will work out this time, but I don't like the look of that. Doesn't build another tank. If he built a recon, he would have been able to build a tank this turn, I believe, or something maybe. No, actually he wouldn't have. I lied, but he would have built a tank if he didn't build anything. So, double Rikis from Kantbei. He is flexing that extra Sasha funds. Look at that, 9-9. 9-9, you're not going to get those properties. So, and Agugula doesn't have any tankies. He will have a tank. Is double Rikis the meta or some shit? What is going on here? There's got to be some double Riki freaky meta or something going on here. But I'm loving this T-copter. Look at these boosties. Boosties for days. So Kantbei, one recon one way, recon the other, builds an artillery. This has got to be some sort of meta. No tanks so far. Getting the setup with the artillery seems to be of utmost importance. So far, so good. Look at this chain right here. Boomba, boomba, boomba. Or boomba, boomba, boomba. And he's going to get all of these anyway. He's Agugula, and this is his strong side. So you're not going to see Kantbei probably attack. Even if he gets the recon out there and sees it, he probably will not attack, because you're going to be expected to have a tank in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will defend this in 2 turns. It will defend that in 3 turns. So Agugula builds his first tank of the match. Oh, everyone's doing so great. And now Kantbei is going to use the little boosty poos. Honestly, oh, he's going for this early. Yeah. Okay, if he's going for this, it makes sense. But I would have put this here and then put this infantry there and then boosted for that turn. But if he's dead set on that property, so be it. Looks like if I'm Kantbei, he's probably going to place this on the comp tower and just delay the comp tower capture rather than interrupting caps. Recons also have dual viability. It's just blocking units. You put it here, it's not going to attack and weaken itself in front of the tank or anything, like expose itself. It's just going to block anything from capturing a property. You can plop it here, you can plop it there, or you can just hide in the forest, but I would expect him to put it on top of the comp tower. So Agugula is probably going to bring his tank to the strong side if I had to take a guess. And he builds another tank. We're going to probably expect a tank chain. Off the chain! Tank train. Yeah, so he's capturing that early property. I don't think you need to really rush that. Ooh, I like that little boosty poo right there, enabling either one of these caps right there. He's opting to bring the artillery to the middle, whereas Agugula is bringing it off to the corner over here, probably to maybe place it here, deny that, that, and that, but it's pretty exposed. It's exposed from all 4 angles over here, so I'm not really sure about the weak side artillery. I mean, there's this forest here, but what does it really defend? It defends these 2 properties. And I don't think he's going to overextend that much, because once you start attacking over here, you're overextended, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 turns for a tank over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to take 4 turns to get over here from blue. 3 turns from black. If you go over here, even worse, 2 turns over here, 4 turns over there. So you don't want to overextend. You probably want to take this as blue, take this as blue, and then you call it a day and try to, prevent them from getting the same thing on the other side. So far so good. Building the first copter of the game, I like it. It's day 8. It's Sasha. Sasha can do whatever the hell she wants. She's got 18,000 mun-muns popping a turn. That's where Sasha is. That's the power of money, baby. You can buy whatever the hell you want. So, Agugula brings his recon to the middle. Captures the comm tower. If I'm Kantbei, I'm not interrupting. See, I would have put this right down here. I mean, in retrospect, of course, you can't see the opponent's units, so he doesn't know if there's a tank here ready to swarm. But, I'm a blocker. When I have a recon, I want to do something. It's kind of just chilling over here. I would have let it sit here, take a big boom boom, and then retreat. You know, delay the comp tower an extra turn maybe. But instead he's being patient, which might be, you know, useful in the end. So Agugula brings his his artillery over here to defend this property, so we can get it nice and easy. Because he sees the recon, he doesn't want to allow an interrupt too easily. So Kantbei's probably going to keep that recon in the forest. Go for the corner over here. Agugula has the recon ready. This tank is out of position, so all of 3 of these are unsupported units over here. And Agugula can see there's a recon, or actually he can't see shit. So he doesn't know if they're unsupported or supported, so it remains to be a mystery whether he will attack or not. Now, if you notice one thing, Kantbei wisely did not go here with the infantry. Some of you newbies out there would have gone, boo! Then the recon go on the city and attack you from the city. If he goes here, the recon has to attack from a plane or from the road, and where it can be one shot by a tank. Or at least, you know, brought down to 1 HP. Smart move there, builds the anti-air. Anticipating the enemy copter. That's anticipation. Day 8. Day 9, we got some early anti-air, we got some early copters. This is a high-income map. Betwixt or not, it is high-income. So far, seems to be pretty dead even. Recon does not attack. We have a lot of patience so far. I said it was a brawly map. The brawls haven't begun. Oh, but they will. They will. And Agugula brings his... The artillery over here is a little undecided. Oh, do I go to this forest? Can I go to this forest? Let's do a silent retreat in this forest. And I heard a Lollapalooza's in this forest. Electric Festival forest. You can't decide where it's going. Paralysis analysis. Sometimes it's a little tricky. So this thing didn't need to be built on day like 4 or 5 or whatever. It hasn't done shit yet. You could have built it later, like Kantbei's thing. I think he built this artillery 2 days later, and it's accomplished so much more. It's already in the middle. It's already defending these things. I mean, it's defending these infantry over here, but like it's not really exerting any pressure. It's not really zoning very much. So I would argue that it's not really, you know, getting its money's worth. And as soon as he brings it out of this forest, I think maybe Kantbei saw it. No, there's no way he saw it, did he? Okay. So this recon can see up to these 2. Let's see where it goes. Okay, so he couldn't see it. He just, I don't know, map hacker or something. No, I'm joking. He's not cheating. But smart move. And he puts, oh, I just love this. The interrupt followed up by the artillery, followed up by the copter. Kantbei, loving his vibe so far. Just loving it. But if you see that going on, yeah, it's time to retreat these infantry. So let's see how smart he is about those infantry. If I were him, I'd pull them back. 1 in the city over here, 1 in the forest. Keep that 1 on the city. Let's see if he's feisty. If he does a Mang's infantry or not. Ooh, yeah, a little feisty. Well, at least he didn't go for this one. That would be 100% Mang's infantry. This is still even a little bit ambitious over there. He's not going to capture that. Builds a lander. So, like I said, Kantbei. He loves the transports. He has a transport fetish. Legend has it that every time he rides the bus, he gets a certain feeling in his. He's a certain tingle. That's all. I'm just gonna leave it at that when he rides the bus. Anyway, he's not gonna capture that side property. Way too easy. Oh shit! I spelled it myself. Agugula, little pocket artillery over here. It's well defended, so he might be able to capture that. We'll see. Agugula's kind of dabbling, a little bit of weak ding over here, a little bit over here, most over here. Kantbei is a little more concentrated over here, it seems, in the general middle, which I like Kantbei's positioning so far. So far, edge goes to Kantbei, and CO matchup, edge goes to Kantbei, and, you know, how he's playing. Although, I didn't like that over there. He would have a much bigger lead if he didn't sack 2 infantry needlessly in the corner. A Mang's infantry death, if you will. So, and he's headed in the capture game. Look at this. He's got 24,000 plus the Sasha bonus where he's got 21,000. So he's ahead 3 properties. By virtue of having all the middle. He has both these middle ones. Hawke over here doesn't have any of that. So he sees with the recon, he interrupts, and now he's going to flood. Smart move. When you see that, all that is that. So here's one of the instances where you have the artillery. Yeah, you're going to get a shot off, but you should get the hell out of there. You do not want to stay there as an artillery. Just because you get a nice shot off doesn't mean you should stay there. Sometimes it's duty to retreat. The damage you will be doing is not worth dying over. So I'm assuming he's going to withdraw that. The lander's already seemingly getting a little bit of usage out so far. So I'm liking Kantbei's play so far. He clearly has played this map before, or, you know, done some research. But Agugula going ham over here. He sees what's going on over here. So likewise, a piston, attack one area, pull back in another. He's attacking over here. He's pulling back over here. Even that 6 HP infantry is pulling back. And he's going for the middle. He's not going to get either of those, I don't think. And this recon sees everything. I love the centralized recon. There is no mountains on this map, except for like here. So recons are essential on this map. You're going to want to have at least 2 recons at all times, if not 3. Kantbei's got 1, 2, 3. Agugula's got 1. Ooh, just 1. Agugula. If he had one in the middle, you'd see that his artillery is seen by the other recon and is open for the hit with the tank. Oh, not anymore, but still a little feisty. And this artillery's not even covering that infantry, so that's a little strange to me. But hey, no, do you, bruh. So, Agugli retreats a little bit over there, but it doesn't matter. Kantbei's coming, baby. Boomba la boomba. Arrivederci. So he goes in, kills off the infantry. The freaky Riki comes in. Does not interrupt the cap over there so far. We'll see if he does. Curious. I'm assuming he will with 1 infantry. Brings in his anti-air. He's got 2 infantry or anti-air ready. He sees the 2 copters already, so you want to have at least one anti-air for every 1.5 copters. So if there's 3 copters, you want to have 2 anti-air. Typically is the rule I follow. So he's doing good. He's got his own copters. He's getting near his market crash, which will give him 10-10 attack and defense during the power. So we'll have 20 attack, 10 defense. With the 20 attack, he gets the guaranteed 2k KOs that Hawke has. He'll have the same firepower as Hawke when he uses his power as Hawke normally has, and he'll have 10% extra defense. So, Sasha will have a slight advantage, and Kantbei loves his tech ups. He goes early tech ups when he always gets me flat-footed. I'm like, tank to tank to tank, I'm winning the tank battle, and then suddenly there's a medium tank, suddenly there's a bomber, suddenly there's a neo tank. Kantbei, one thing he does best is he knows when to tech up. It's only day 12, but he's utilizing that Sasha advantage. Look at that insane income over there, 27,000 in income. So, Kantbei, smart move over there. He sacked an infantry to stop that cap. Whatever. He's got backup, so it's not too terrible. He doesn't have any anti-air over in the vicinity, so this copter will be able to hit something if he does attack. Beep beepers. He sees the copter. Stops the infantry capping. He might get that cap over there. Ooh, attacking an anti-air on an infantry. Will he regret that? Let's tune in and find out. Boomba, 1 shot with Hawke. Boomba reveal. Ooh, he's getting really feisty. Agugula is getting extremely feisty, but this is slightly closer to Agugula than Kantbei, so from this base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 turns over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 turns each, so we're pretty much in the epicenter of the whole map. Each is 3 turns away from the bases. Not necessarily a bad fight for Kantbei. So first you want to do, get as much power charge for Hawke as possible. Then you pop your power to lower him down. But sometimes you also do want to have that extra little bonus in damage and defense. So, will he be able to interrupt the cap? He will. Bye-bye. So, and the copter will live to tell the tale. The sad tale. The tale of 2 kitties. Garfield 2 now in theaters. So, he brings in his medium tank over here with the lander. Agugula has no lander. He hasn't even thought that landers could be created. Typically, I wouldn't build a lander, so it's Kantbei. It's going to pay off. He's using the extra funds to his advantage, so might as well use it for something, right? So, he's backing off, though? Oh, no, never mind. I lied. They're brawling. Now he uses the market crash with 28,000. And just like that. He had his power. 47,000 worth. That's Hawke was like this. Ooh. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Euphemisms aside, it sucks. Alright. So it brings in the copters. Agugula is going crazy in the center. Now Agugula is really focused in the center. Kantbei is winning over here. Agugula is backing off. Kantbei does have the income advantage. He has 26,000, whereas Agugula has 23,000. So he has the income advantage. So he should be feeling pretty good about that. Kantbei is teched up. He will be able to one-shot that tank next turn. So he has to be a little bit wary about that. So if I'm Kantbei, I'm probably spamming out copters at this point. I'm probably spamming out anti-air. He's doing both of those. And he's teched up. And Agugula has nothing to deal with the medium tank other than his own artillery at this point. So, beep beep, beep beeps. Stops that. Looks like Kantbei's going to get both of these properties over here. No, he will probably get interrupted on that one, but he will get this one. Nope, the recon will be able to reach. Okay, so he will be interrupted in both. Here comes the beepers. Kills that off. Here comes the dead copter. Doing pretty decent over there. The copter is very strange positioning over here. I guess he wants to see what's on the cities. Brings back his units. He's kind of coalescing a bit. He realizes he has income advantage. There's no real need to force any fights. He uses it after Kantbei had a bit of a brain fart. He should have used it right now, but he built half of his units first and he was like, oops, that was a bad idea. Now I'm going to use it. So it was a bit of a mistake on Kantbei's part. Now Agugula is probably going to get his power in the near future. We're at day 15, like I said earlier, day 15 at the earliest, maybe day 20 or so, probably around 17 or 18, I would expect to see the first Hawke power. If not, maybe a little bit earlier. But Agugula, he's going ham in the center. He stopped both these caps over here. Kantbei misplayed a little bit. I feel like he could have gone for one of these properties and really blocked off one really well, but instead he went for both. And both of them a little shoddily rather than one perfectly with blocking off. So, you know, pay the price. But Agugula, despite all that, he is behind 40,000 in unit value because that's just the power of Sasha, baby. So Kantbei, Boongala, he doesn't give half a shit, apparently. Very curious going into there without any vision at all. You probably want to use the recon attack first. So Kantbei is playing a little sloppy now, a little schlopsters, little subway schlopsters, red schlopsters. Kills off a copter. He's probably going to get his market crash. So he will prevent, and he does have 30,000, so he's going to knock it 60%, which is beautiful. Kills off the copter, attacks the tank. That artillery, though, is going to get a beautiful shot off on that medium tank. So, yeah, you do that before you attack with the medium tank, buddy. But he uses the market crash, and just like that, bye-bye Agugula. So Agugula is probably a little bit pissed. Let's look at the stats right now. It's dead even, basically. Dead even. Agugula and Kantbei, although it is the end of Kantbei's turn, so I'd say Agugula actually does have the kill-to-death ratio advantage, because he will get some damage done, but he is behind 60,000, because that's just Sasha for you. The extra 10%, followed by losing all your powers, which usually keep Hawke in the game, so frustrating. And look, he can't even get the 2-hit KO because Kantbei has an extra 10% defense by virtue of using the power, so all his units have 10% extra defense, 10% extra offense. So if they're 20-10 boosts this turn. So ain't nothing to sneeze at. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. But Kantbei is not really getting much from this. He's not really getting much from this. Agugula hasn't gotten this property yet, but that's basically his only advantage. We're at 25,000 to 26,000 currently before the Sasha advantage. He was not able to capitalize over here. He should have had at least one tank to deal with these recons, but he sadly had nothing. So now, Boonga. Boonga, boom. Agugula. Really putting the hurt on in the middle. Really putting the hurt on. But with all these recons invested over here, he is overextending. Now we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 turns you can attack that. On the cusp of overextending, if not already overextending. So Kantbei. What is he going to do? He's going to be able to reach the power again. We're already at day 16. Yet to see a Hawke power. Boomba. Boomba. Boom. He is just going at it. Recon. Freaky, freaky. Without a Hawke power, that's going to be Kantbei's. So you better hope you don't get that. And, ooh. Tank goes down here, kills, tank attacks, anti-air. Wait, why is it not doing that? He's not doing that? Why not do that? Interesting. Instead, he opted to go into the unknown over here. I would have used the 5. Yeah, do that, and then this Oh, because it's not a guaranteed KO. I thought it was guaranteed. I guess not. Kantbei. Oh, that sucks. Hawke power's coming this turn, if not a Hawke superpower. A rare Hawke superpower versus Sasha could be in the works. Kantbei going double artillery, really hunkering down. Extra T-copter, very strange. He's just going full transports. I mean, he's got, look at the unit value though. 150,000 to 88,000. This is before Hawke power though. This is definitely going to change. If you currently look at the stuff, pretty dead even, but Googla, this is gonna hurt for Kantbei. Boonga. Captures the property, now we're dead even. And he's gonna interrupt that as well, because of using the Hawke powers. He actually sacks a copter in order to get Black Storm. He really wants the superpower. He really wants the superpower. Normal power is not going to cut it. Black Storm, baby. 80,000 to 40,000. 140,000. So 140 turned into 108, and 80 turned into 88,000. So it didn't heal that much, but it did a lot of damage to Kantbei's forces. Hawke probably won't get a power the rest of the game. That's probably all he's ever going to have. But honestly, that was, game swinging because it enabled him to get back that unit value. But Kantbei does have more units. He's got 3 copters, 2 anti-air. Look at these little shits over there. He had to sack a copter basically to that. He had to sack a recon basically. So he's not really looking too hot. And he's about to lose a lot more units. So Kantbei is having his revenge for Googla getting that. And it looks like Kantbei will not be able to get that property. We'll see if he can sneak it in. But this little freaky reeky plus the infantry over there will be able to capitalize. There is nothing in the vicinity. This tank should probably be heading over there because there is absolutely nothing guarding that eastern flank for Kantbei. Brings both his artillery down here instead of over here. So it looks like he's doing a little push on his weak side. Tanks are going ham. Tanks a little overextended. I guess he could have attacked from here, but okay, interesting enough. He really wanted to kill that off, but it was unable to. Still has unit advantage, still has income advantage, and still has the unit value advantage. So he's winning on all 3 counts. He has the power charge. Hawke will probably never get a power again. But, let's see, Googla, he's definitely has some counterplay. Boomba. Because Kantbei is starting to get overextended. Boomba. Although, not really. So let's look at it. So we got 5 tanks, 2 copters, an anti-air, 2 artillery. We got 6 tanks, 2 artillery, an anti-air, 5 copters, 2 to 5 copters. Granted, these are weakened 8 HP copters, but Kantbei clearly has more units. He's fully utilizing Sasha, but Googla, threatening cap, threatening Bolsh clip. So you gotta watch out over here. Kantbei's gonna get this, but he's gonna get gangbang next turn and probably get stopped from capping. Or he's gonna get recapped, per se. So, I'm expecting a power from Kantbei though this turn. He's overextended. He's getting a little greedy over here. He's overextending a bit. I don't know if I like that. He's in Googla territory. He's heading to Arugula. He's heading to Aruba. Man, I sound like a toddler. He's like learning his first word. Dada, Arugula, Boogala, Aruba. Like, I don't know. Well, I wonder if like a 1-year-old human or a 5-year-old orangutan is smarter. Just food for thought. If you put him up in a test, maybe 2 years old. I think an orangutan beats a 1-year-old easily. But it's like orangutan versus 1-year-old human. Of course, the orangutan is going to rip his head off and win like the physical test. But the mental test might be closer than you think. They should do a little research. They should battle of the brains, battle of the baboon brains. Google is getting that. There's no way in hell Kantbei can stop that. Google is going to get that. There is a possibility in hell he could get that stopped, but it would come into great. No, there is not. He's about to lose 2 properties. He's about to get recapped over there. Googla is getting the income advantage. You don't like to see that if you're Kantbei, or if you're Sasha, excuse me. Because right now he's sitting pretty. He's got, oh yeah, I got 27. I'm sitting pretty good. Like, can't complain. Feeling really good. Feeling feisty. And he's a little overextended over here. He needs to get off in the corners. Googla is luring him in the middle, and Kantbei is taking the bait, whereas Googla is getting the corners over here. So I like the move by Googla. Kantbei is unable to stop, but he's still fighting in the middle. Kantbei, despite all this going on, he does have quite a bit more in unit value. Wipes off Hawke's power from the face of the earth. Hawke is not getting a power for the rest of the game, if I had to guess. And Kantbei has a shit ton of money in the bank, so after he spends this turn, yeah, he's got a lot of money. He's 50% higher in unit value, but Agugala's going to have the income value, or the income lead. Boom, boom, boom. And just like that, 28,000 to 26,000. See, it's not so bad against when you're Sasha, because it could have been 24,000, 28,000. Kind of half that by having Sasha's 10% income bonus. So, that ain't so bad, but he's dropping units. I mean, he's fighting into the artillery, but still a little dubious. Agugala's getting a little feisty over here. He's getting a little too feisty. See if Kantbei has any counterattacks in the corners. He really needs to get some properties back. So let's see what Kantbei can do over here. This copter's, luckily for him, Agugala, this anti-air over here is not there in time. But he's able to stop the property over there. Brings his copters in, brings one over there just to attack an infantry while there is an anti-air over there. I hate that move. You need recons. He doesn't have a recon over here in time. He needed a recon there earlier. Before you do reckless attacks with copters like that, you need to use a recon. Especially killing an infantry? Not even just doing 8 damage to an infantry, dude. Love your fighter copter pilots. Give them a good old peck on the cheek. Gotta love them. They cost 9k. You don't throw them away all day. Come on. Maybe you throw away a Mang's infantry once in a while. Hey, we're all guilty about it. Oh, send off Steve to do a commando mission. He'll die. Who cares? But you don't do that with your old friend Jeff, who flies the copter. No, Jeff is very valuable. He's a big boy. And you can't just be throwing away copters. That's 9k right there. For what? Killing off an infantry? It's dumb. Sad. But in comes... okay. In comes that. That's all I'll say. In comes that. This copter comes in. Honestly, yeah, that's fine. Maybe I would have put this artillery right here, because then these are pretty decently covering each other's ass. But he sees that over there. He sees that his tank went blindly in. This is story of Kantbei's life. Not enough recons. He's got one recon that's too late. Nothing over here. Nothing over here. Agugala has a recon over here. Double recons over here. He's not doing too great over here, let's be honest. But he's doing better than Kantbei. Kantbei is flinging his tank into artillery fire. He's flinging his copter into anti-air fire. Recons. You need the recons, baby. Get those rekies. Here comes a marker crash. Hawke is never ever going to sniff power again. And Kantbei, despite all the blundering, he's ahead 60,000. He's ahead 60% in unit value. He's got more units. He's got more unit value. He's behind on income, but it's only 2k, so it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but he's losing the copter. There goes, 9k wiped off. He loses a tank. Loses another tank that walked in there. He's going to lose a copter again. Boom, blah. Doesn't quite lose it, which is nice, because then this anti-air can get a nice sweet kill off on the city, which is even more difficult to deal with. But Agugala, he should be happy right now. He should be happy how things are going so far. Kantbei had a really good early game, but he's starting to throw units around. And despite all of that, Kantbei still has the unit value advantage. It's kind of crazy. Kills off the tank over there. But he knows this has been there a while, so these tanks are probably going to go kill off that right now. But these are well defended. Artilleries. So he needs to be aware of that. He's going for the comm tower cap. I mean, I don't think that's going to work out for him, but I guess hopeful thinking, wishful thinking. I don't think that's going to happen, but that lander's actually getting pretty decent use. It's providing him an extra turn. So instead of taking 3 turns to reach the middle, it's going to take 2 turns to reach the middle, which is actually helping Kantbei. Despite all the blunders and stuff, that lander is carrying the team on its back. That's a good lander. It's really getting its values worth. It would cost like 12k, 14k. I haven't bought lander clearly in a long ass time. I don't even know how much it cost. I think it's 12k. But clearly it's getting its values worth. We're already at day 21. And the longer the game goes on, the better it is for Hawke. So Agugala, he's pretty happy about this. Because the longer the game goes on, stop using the market crash. It gets less effective. It costs 20% more to use it every turn, 20% more to cop your power every turn, 20% more. And then eventually Hawke's going to get the cops off. Hawke's going to get the scops off. Hawke's going to knock your socks off. Hawke's going to blah, 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 blah. But here comes the market crash. Woof. Like a flame. No power. But he's going to get there. Day 23, I predict Hawke's power is going to come into play. Day 23. Not this next turn, but the turn after. Kantbei, it's going to cost more and more for a market crash. How much does a market crash cost these days? Last, it cost 36,000. It's approaching Hawke's normal power in terms of cost soon. It's going to be like 40-something thousand. So Googla brings his recon in. See that valuable recon. You get the intel. You're like, maybe I shouldn't attack. But he should, though, because he's going to get a nice first strike. So he's going to get a first strike there. Boom! Kill it off the recon. Weaken at least. Kill off the copter. Kill off the tank. Looking pretty decent for a Googla. Looking decently for Caligula, Arugula, Adugula, Uvula, Alamblaga, Amygdala, Perhiculabuga. So a lot of Googlas going on here. But Kantbei, he's not going to get his power this turn, I don't think. Nagoogly is going to get his thing. So it's neck and neck, but it's looking rough for Kantbei. So let's see if he can focus something, or, get some good damage over here. So he's going to kill a copter, and he's threatening these two over here. So Kantbei finally has a threat. He needs to recapture these properties, and they can start focusing elsewhere. Because he's losing up here. He's maintaining average in the middle. He's kind of fighting into it. The lander is cutting down the cost of moving. So instead of taking 4 turns to reach over here, it's taking like 3 turns. So the lander is really carrying in that regard. But at the same time, he has no... What has he gotten from these battles? He's got nothing. He hasn't gotten the comm tower. He hasn't gotten this property over there. He hasn't gotten either of these properties. Agugula, on the other hand, is sitting on these 2 properties over there, and he's just chilling. Kantbei is getting a few kills. He's moving in his artillery. But Agugula is going to get a power this turn. Mark my words. Mark my words. Agugula is going to find a way to cough up that. Or maybe he won't. You can't mark my words. He's actually not. Maybe. I thought he would. Okay, guys. I thought he would get the power, but he won't. DG was wrong. He's not going to get the power. Or is he? No. Got unlucky. Or is he? No, he's not. He's not. He got close, though. And now he's going to be wiped out by Kantbei again. But he tried. Kantbei, Boombla. Another dead copter, another dead copter. So Kantbei's actually doing pretty good over here now. He's starting to win over here. And he's threatening both of these properties. And he's going to wipe off a bunch of power. So Kantbei, the fruits of his labor. Oh, he's losing completely over here. But he's forcing everything down here. He is going balls to the wall. There is like nothing over here. He's starting to float in a few copters and tanks. But down there at least, a little ambitious. You need a follow-up. If you attack that, you need a follow-up attack. Because you're going to get his first strike from a city onto a shoal tank. You don't want to be hit on a shoal as a tank. That just doesn't cut it. Honestly, Kantbei should use this copter to scout first. Use that 1 HP copter to scout what's over here, then assess whether you're going to attack from there. You would have seen there's an artillery there. You would have seen there's other shit going on there. And also, why didn't this attack from the city? Why didn't this attack from the city onto this? Why did it attack from the shoal? He's got a shoal fetish or something. If attacking from the shoal is your goal, maybe you need to put on parole. Man, I'm in a rhymey mood again, so forgive me. Kantbei, don't spend your money before you pop the market crash this time. Let's see if you learned his lesson. Okay, there you go. It's getting close, though. It's getting close, though. Getting close, though. Kantbei, look now. I thought Kantbei was doomed. Everyone thought Kantbei was doomed. But now he's ahead on unit count. He's ahead on unit value. Let's look at the stats. Kantbei's ahead on deaths, or kills to death. But the day is going on longer. Kantbei needs a decisive victory. He needs to win both of these. He needs to have a decisive victory because as soon as the black storm hits, hell, as soon as the black wave hits, it's going to be an ouchie. An ouchie might be an understatement. You don't want to be messing with a Hawke Black Wave. Love Hawke. Love Hawke. Could talk about Hawke all day. Anyway, Ogugla, will he finally get one of his powers? See? Look at that shoal tank. And the medium tank. He got teched up on him. He's like, yo, I saw you tech up on me earlier. I'm gonna tech up on you, bitch. He's got nothing to do with that medium tank. He's got an artillery that's already been seen, so he's aware of it, so he's not going to throw this in needlessly to the meat grinder like Kantbei did early on. Remember, he had the medium tank over here attacking into this forest over here, what had Google up artillery. He's not falling for that bullshit. No, he's not falling for that shit. Kantbei needs to build a neo tank. Kantbei needs to build a bomber. Kantbei needs to build his own medium tank, and he's got nothing on the front lines. So this lander is running out of fuel. 15. It's got to heal. It's running out of fuel. And there goes the weakened little shitty artillery. Beep. Beep. So, Ogugla, despite all that, still behind on unit count. Crazy, crazy. He's got 5 tanks, 3 recons, 1 medium tank, 6 tanks, 1 recon, 1 artillery, 3 anti-air, 6 copters. That's where the difference is, the copters. Ogugla's got 1 copter. Kantbei's got 6 copters. 4 of them are up here. So he's got that, and there's no anti-air over here. So, well, there's 1 over there. So he's got to be a little wary of that, but... And look at this reinforcement. You don't want to be fighting into that city. That's another reason you don't want to be fighting in the city. 1-turn reinforcement. Kantbei is extremely overextended over there. He should be fighting over here. Should be fighting over here, not over here. Get these 2 properties fighting over here. He's getting way too aggressive. He should have backed off a few turns ago, but he's just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and but like here, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. Slowly, baby. Too close. Look at this, the trail of tears getting over here. Perfectly fine, perfectly fine. A little bit close, but perfectly fine. Started off over here, even better, beautiful. You got the reinforcement advantage with the lander, everything's good. Bleh, 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 bleh. That's the sound effect Kantbei makes as he moves. Bleh, 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 bleh. And now, well, that's not great. So Kantbei stops the cap on the because I think he would have copied this next turn, right? No, it's 8, but had to kill it off. Has to stop that, because that's he's gonna capture that if not. So Kantbei is now going hard up here. He made the rookie mistake. He's been playing pretty well for the most part, but he made the rookie mistake of putting all his units up here and still attacking down here. So he's attacking simultaneously. He's overextending while simultaneously cutting off supplies for one army. That's crazy. You don't do that in a war. You don't go, yeah, full force, and then you're like, they're on their own, like, bye-bye, Charlie, good luck out there. No, you don't do that shit. You need to have a solid supply line to enable the push. Even the push in the first place is a bad idea. Hell, it's double as bad, though, if you don't have any backup, though, and he has no backup. He's pushing at the top now. And he's winning at the top over there, but he's losing all his freaking units. Uses the market crash, barely squeaks out that market crash. Barely squeaks out of it. Ogugla has to wait another day to get the power. So Ogugla will not get the power. Kantbei lives to see another day. Right there, I think a power would have wiped Kantbei out. But Kantbei, boonga. Put this in there, boongla, boongla. These are all ripe for the picking. So Kantbei just needs to capture that. He will capture that. He will have the income lead again. It's crazy. Kantbei will, well, not the income lead. Well, he'll have the income lead. They'll have equal properties, but Kantbei will have the income lead by virtue of being Sasha. They'll have very equal income. Builds the bomber to deal with the medium tank. I probably would have built a neo tank, to be perfectly honest, rather than a bomber. When in doubt, build a neo tank over a bomber is my experience. Neo tanks are more sturdy. They last longer. 8k unit like an anti-air can't ruin it. It takes a lot more investment to kill a neo tank than it does a bomber. So I love the placement of the recon there, but now's not the time. He's got a bunch of units hanging. He allowed that copter to get completely shellacked for no reason. So Kantbei, he needs some play. He's gonna get back the units, or the count. He didn't put that little shit in there and go over there. What are you doing, dude? I don't like that. Okay. Huh. Alright. I would go for that corner property ASAP. So now we're equal on properties. Kantbei is retreating, though. These are all dead. Despite all this shit, Kantbei ahead, back to 40,000 ahead. Ahead on everything. After all that shit, Kantbei is ahead on all the counts. This game is a wacky game. This game is a wacky game. Googla, though. Going for the kill in the corner over there, now threatening these two. This one capture this property, this one capture this one. Kantbei's got to rush. He's got to keep up. He's got to keep up with the tempo. So you capture these properties, I got to capture these properties. Time is a ticking. There is no day limit. So there is no cutoff of 30 days. Whoever has the most property wins. So you don't have to worry about that. But like I said, there is an internal time ticking. The longer the game goes on, the better Hawke gets. He's going to get the power. The passive 10% bonus adds up. It's going to hurt. You can't stop the Hawke powers forever. Another thing, notice. Builds a fighter. Didn't even see the bomber. But built a fighter. Smart. This guy knows. He's like, I built a medium tank over there. He's either going to build a neo tank or a bomber. And he correctly assumed Kantbei would build a bomber rather than a neo tank. Imagine building a neo tank here, and this is basically useless. This will get a kill off on a copter, and then you kill it off with an anti-air, or two anti-airs rather. Imagine building a neo tank there. Oh my god. Remember when Kantbei lost that other game versus Izanagi because he built a bomber instead of a neo tank? Is he going to lose again because they built a bomber instead of a neo tank? Because there's nothing to do with the neo tank over here. Nothing. There's no artillery even over here. A neo tank would run town. Put that bad boy here, plop it out here, neo tank here. Nothing can deal with a neo tank there. Nothing can deal with a neo tank. A neo tank would be beautiful right now. But he got a bomber. Got a bomber. Anyway, those all die. Now Googla is starting to overextend a bit. Those are all going to die. Kantbei is happy to see the overextension. The Googla now, for the first time in a long time, finally has a unit value advantage. Bye-bye. Not anymore. But he had it for a little bit. And he's going to get through the property. He's going central, which is a good idea. I think he should go center. He's going to capture this property. Maybe not, actually. Definitely not capturing that Mang's infantry. Should have the T-Cop to transport something up there to capture and then block with one of these two over here, so I don't like that move. But that lander, oh, it healed itself off. That's good. But a Googla. Oh, Googla. Googla, boogala, oh, googie, doogie, Googla. You know why he left that? Because he wants to have 30,000 for the 60k wipe, 60% wipe. If he didn't have any money, he would get down to 25, the next highest 25, which is the 50% wipe of the superpower. Will a Googla? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's gonna get at least one cop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that bomber is barely out of fighter range. That would have been GG right there. Beepers. The recon sees the bomber and he realizes, yes, I guessed right. He didn't build a neo tank. Double cap at the bottom, nothing can stop that. Bye-bye. Gotta be coy with the fighter. Don't want to reveal it. Black wave. So that's actually stopped. Well, no, he's going to capture that anyway, so that doesn't matter. But Googla, feeling pretty good after that power. Ahead in unit value, and it's only going to get worse because he's going to build his units. Coy, smart. You don't want to reveal the fighter like, hey, I got the fighter. Run, buddy. No, keep it back here. Let the bomber think he's safe. Let the bomber just flying the plane, the Goodyear blimp bomber. Then something like an Air Force One squadron comes and blows up over the top of the football stadium. That's what you want to see with the fighter. You wanted to blow up that big old blimp. So Agugula, though, feeling pretty good, I'm assuming. Kantbei, fighting. Use this. Bring that little 1 HP shit to scout. If you don't have a recon, use a little shit to scout. Kantbei, 1 recon for Agugula here. 1 recon for Agugula here. He sees everything. 1 recon here. He sees everything. Kantbei, he's got 1 over here. You can't see shit. Story of the match. Can't see shit. And he resigns. Kantbei had great brawling. I liked his tech up early. I thought he had a really strong advantage in the early game. But the biggest thing that squashed all his hopes of survival, number 1, well, he messed up on one of the powers, which is not a big deal. It didn't end up mattering that much. Vision. He went in brawling without seeing what's there. He got trapped a few times. Artillery fired on an unsuspecting tank at least 3 to 4 times. Copters went into anti-air range without any thought in the world. Blasted the smithereens. Vision, vision, vision. Kantbei's greatest error in this entire game, he didn't maintain enough recons. He's Sasha. You get the extra money. Build recons. Build a Neo-Tank Recon Inf. Neo-Tank Recon Inf. He could have built, look how much money he has. I didn't see a single Neo-Tank the entire game. I saw very few recons, or not enough recons. I would have loved the Neo-Tank Recon Inf build. That's beautiful right there. That's 27k. He has 28k per turn. Alas, not enough recons. You're going to get yourself destroyed. You need the beepers, or else you're going to be saying Jeepers Creepers as soon as you fucking walk into a trap. Agugula, he was kind of on the defensive the whole game, to be perfectly honest. He wasn't really offensive. He got the properties over here, he retreated. He got the properties over here, he retreated. He let Kantbei come to him. He let Kantbei overextend into him, and it worked out well for him. He baited Kantbei the whole game. He masturbated all over him. He masturbated all over Kantbei's face. That's so... sometimes you just gotta beware. You might seem like you're losing, because, oh, Kantbei's like, yeah, I've got him on the back foot, I'm beating him up, he's not getting his power. Yeah, you might think you're winning, but in reality, you're behind on income. You're losing a lot of money and units to needless deaths from artillery traps, from anti-air traps, recklessly throwing units with reckless abandon into the great void. And also, the bomber build. I think the game was already starting to get lost by this point anyway, but I would have loved to see Neo-Tanks earlier on in the game. I like the early medium tank, and that allowed him to turn the tide. Let's not forget. Abubala, over here. He had Kantbei on the ropes over here. Look at this. He's threatening to get the incoming match. The medium tank came to the rescue. And then it died. And then we never saw another teched up unit again until we saw that big, fat, blimpy bomber. That was the last time we saw a teched up unit. Yeah, so I thought Kantbei had such a strong start. I think he got a little complacent, maybe got a little reckless as the game goes on. I know you get tired, you get frustrated, you get angry, you get upset, you get annoyed, you get hungry, you get thirsty, you get sleep deprived, you get... I don't know, a lot of things can happen to you clearly during this game. But I think he needs to take his time, because I think he had a very strong start. I think he turned the tides in the middle. It was looking good for him here. When medium tank saved the day. He kind of recklessly threw it away right here. I don't like that. This turn looks pretty good for him, though. Not gonna lie, this turn looks pretty good. Kantbei's starting the turn. Ahead on unit value. Ahead on income. He got reckless over here, but this is definitely, I wouldn't say a one game, but it's looking incredibly good for him at this point. But he just kind of blundered it a bit. So, anyway, I think both players still played it phenomenally well. Agugula is a strong-ass player, clearly. He knows how to play Hawke. He can walk the walk, he can talk the talk, he can play the Hawke. He's got a nice chicken. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. And I'll see you guys next time. Bros.